This is Bad Bob, the Shade Tree Mechanic. Today we're working on a Toyota Corolla CE model. Now this is a 2000 Toyota Corolla, and this would be applicable to year models 98 through 02. And this video is part 2 of the dual horn system. Now when I started this project, the horn was not working. It was actually stuck on, which is not a good thing. So what I did was I swapped the horn, I swapped the relay. That didn't fix it. So what I had to do is replace this device right here. This is your clock spring. Now this goes behind the steering wheel, so you have to pull the airbag, pull the steering wheel to replace this. And this device is a complex wiring harness. It actually has a 12-foot 6-wire ribbon cable wound up in there, and it's designed to rotate with the steering wheel. And the only thing I could figure is there was a short circuit or some kind of close in the circuit that caused the horn to be stuck on. And once I replaced this, then the horn was working. And then I decided, well, let's make the horn louder. So I thought I would add a second horn. So let's go over here to my workbench slash picnic table, and I'll show you my tools and material. So you got a 12mm socket with ratchet handle. I've got a wire stripper crimping tool, some wire cutters, a razor knife, and my material I've got over here is some 18 gauge wire, some rapid repair tape, which, folks, this is a must-have, because when I leave the house, I carry some basic hand tools. I carry this stuff with me, and because you can repair hoses, wiring. Even if you had a hydraulic leak like a power steering hose, you could do a temporary patch to get yourself back to the house. So good stuff. And on my other material I got here is I got some crimp connectors, and what I did was, if you can see that, I crimped that type of flat. It's got the raised edges on it to a jumper. That's my hot wire. And then I've already put the horn on, but just to show you an example, inside the horn will be this type of a connector. It's a flat type, see if you can see that. The flat type connector. And so that jumper goes on there. And so let's go over here to the vehicle, and I'll show you what I did. Now this horn is a universal horn. It can work on a single wire or a dual wire system, and it comes with a grounding strap. So I use a 1-wire system, and I removed the existing horn with that's where the 12mm socket and ratchet handle come in. And just this is the way it's designed. It's a disc type horn, and it's similar to the original horn. As you can see over here, it's about twice the size as this is the second horn, and it's a low tone horn. So now I got a low tone and a high tone horn. So let me show you what I did with the wiring. Had to kind of reconfigure it. There's a wire nuts where I made my splice, and I spliced that onto. Now this is the original I showed in my first video. It's what comes from the fuse, and I crimped a crimp connector on there, plugged it in, sealed it up with a rapid repair tape. That's where I used a razor knife, because that rapid repair tape, it doesn't have adhesive on there. It's just designed to like stretch and wrap. And then it sort of bonds when it heats up and works good. So here is my splice. That's where I use the wire cutters to cut the old splice off. And so I spliced, this is the hot coming in. I spliced a jumper to the horn, and then the other wire goes to the second horn. So, and as I showed in my first video, on my second horn, I used a 10mm bolt with a 10mm nut and a lock washer. And I kind of bent it down, angle it down where it's not right up against the hood where it'll get good sound. And so now I've got a proper dual horn, low tone, and high tone. So, and here's your end result. Now, warning folks, you might want to turn your volume down because this is loud. And there you go, a proper dual horn system. So I guess I've annoyed the neighbors enough. This is Bad Bob, the Shade Tree Mechanic. We'll catch you on the flip-flop.